Hello and welcome to Around the Wickets on ThePapare.com. Well, I can tell you that it's slightly different today because you might be wondering, what am I doing by myself? Well, there are times that you got to carry it all by yourself because the expert, we've given him some leave and he's enjoying some good times. So here I am talking to you and telling you what happened during the last week or so. Now, I want to first focus my attention on Sri Lanka, and as you know, there is a World Cup about to happen in June, and then Sri Lanka needs to come up with their team. They need to name their squad. They need to have a team going to Scotland. They need to understand what the balance is, and to try and answer some of those questions, Sri Lanka Cricket organized a super provincial tournament. Now, the provincial tournament has come to an end. It ended on the 11th of April with Galle and Colombo, they being the joint champions, and with the third and fourth playoff won by Dambulla by 94 runs. Now, I'm not so sure whether teams are very interested to see who actually won it, because in Super Provincial we still don't have, or in the provincial tournaments we still don't have the type of following that any other tournament might have, or a club or a school might have. But this tournament specifically had reasons to be played before this World Cup, and that is to do with identifying who could really fit in and fill in those last few places that have been made vacant or that are available. Now, highest run scorers, good news to see Angelo Matthews scoring 227 runs. Good to see Matthews fit and firing. Well, he's still not bowling, but Sri Lanka needs Matthews, the batsman. Then Lahiru Thirimana, the only other batsman who's got over 200 runs. Bhanuka Rajapaksa, I get excited when I see this young man. At least he should be figuring in the 10-0 or T20. What am I saying? I say 10-0 because I saw him playing in the T10 in Dubai, but at least in the T20 because he's an aggressive player who likes to play shots. Sangeet Kure, experienced and consistent player, 172 runs. And Dimuth Karunaratne, much have been spoken about him for the white ball format. He's in the top 5. He's got 165 runs. Lasith Malinga, 8 wickets. What a performer. When I say what a performer, he's really shown us how committed he is. Everyone was shouting about he going to the IPL. Imagine what that man did. Landed in the night immediately after an IPL game, and then he turns up in Dambulla with very little sleep and he captains his side. 8 wickets, the leading wicket take, and the important thing is his economy rate is just over 4.5. Then Thisara Perera, 7 wickets. Kasun Rajitha, 7. But the spinners are a worry. Akila Dhananjaya has 6. No Sandakan, and Vandersay has been expensive. But you know the man that is giving me some hope and giving me satisfaction? Jeevan Mendes. 6 wickets, and he also did score runs. And I feel Jeevan is quite mature and the type of player I would be tempted to pick for a World Cup, because, you know, World Cup is about having experienced players. It's good to have young cricketers, but you have experienced players in good form, then you go for it. I would go for Jeevan Mendes because he seemed to be in excellent form. And talking about form, just 3 centurions in the interprovincial tournament: Angelo Matthews, Lahiru Thirimana and Shehan Jayasuriya. Well, Thirimana's story is an interesting one. Was played as a test opener, got runs scored 20, between 20 and 40 in the opportunities he got in both South Africa and Australia. Never really went on and got that half century. But has he got enough to get into the World Cup squad? That's going to be the big question. Actually, the big question is, what is the policy of the selectors going to be? Now, when you look at Dick Weller, 6, 19, 2 and 4. Gunathilaka, 3, 7, 0 and 15. Now, are the selectors going on reputation or are they going on form? That's the question. On form, these 2 guys don't get anywhere close. But on reputation, it's another story. So, who will be Sri Lanka's opening combination? Dimuth Karunaratne, is he going to be a certainty? Is Dhananjaya de Silva going to be thrown into the equation as an opener? Is Avishka Fernando going to be persisted with? Is Danushka Gunathilaka, Thirimana, Sadira Samara Vikrama? I don't know. Even Sandun Virak could a few names mentioned. But, well, I'm not so sure what the selectors' thinking is. You know why I say this? Because they're looking at 300 plus runs during the World Cup, because they feel pitches are going to be good and you got to have players who can get there. So if Thirimana and Karunaratne are to open, then you could see some similarity in their batting. similar players, not slam bang, they are builders, they are accumulators, they are grafters. So I don't know what is the Sri Lankan selectors policy going to be, but it's going to be either way a very interesting one. And I'll tell you, it's not an easy decision to pick the 15. Now, as far as Lasith Malinga is concerned, as I told you, he's been extraordinary. 3 wickets for Mumbai. That was the day that he flew into Sri Lanka, and the very next day he gets 7 wickets with very little sleep. Now, this is the type of player, this is the Malinga Sri Lanka needs. The man who could go in, bowl quickly, bowl his Yorkers, wickets at the top and good bowling at the death, and he can make a huge difference. Well, I spoke about Jeevan Mendis. I have a few stats to prove what I'm talking about. 6 wickets at an average of 19 and 83 runs with the bat, including a 50. Now, he to me will be the ideal all-rounder because the selectors believe that the spinner they should have is a wrist spinner. Now, they have tried Sandakan. I'm not sure whether he's quite hot as far as the selectors are concerned. Wendesey has struggled. Well, Jeevan Mendis seemed to be the man. But on that subject, my question is, Amila Ponso and Nishan Piris, 2 players that the selectors thought of very highly. I'm wondering why they never played. Amila Ponso, white ball specialist, I feel should have definitely had a go in this tournament just to see how good he is. But unfortunately, he doesn't get a look in, or he didn't get a look in at all. And then the next big question, who will be the captain? Will it be Malinga? Will it be Dimuth? Will it be Angelo Matthews, Chandimal, and even Thisara Pereira? I don't know. But again, another riddle that the selectors will have to answer. Well, we also got an interesting thing coming up, and that is, what is your World Cup 15? Now, we want you to participate in this. You can select your World Cup 15 online. It is http://CWC19 thepapare.com and go to www.thepapare.com/CWC19 and follow the ICC World Cup 2019. Now, here is your opportunity. Now, lots of fans, they tend to give their opinion watching from the sidelines. Here is the opportunity for you to be a selector. I'll call this play a selector's role, or be the selector. That's a game you can play, and let's see how accurate you will be in keeping with the thinking of the selectors. Right, that is as far as the Inter-Provincial and the World Cup is concerned. And now our focus is on school cricket. Now, the Singer Under-19 Division 1 tournament 2018 and 19. The Division 1 2-day encounter was between St. Joseph's and St. Thomas's, and congratulations to St. Joseph's, who beat St. Thomas's on the first innings. St. Joseph's, incidentally, in the semi-final beat St. Sebastian's, and St. Thomas's got the better of Nalanda. In the limited over championship, St. Thomas's College beat Richmond College at Galle. Well, Royal College, they were the under-19 champions, under-19 Division 2 champions, I must say. They met St. Anthony's College in the final, and both teams get promoted to Division 1. Well, I personally feel that it was a shame that Royal had to play Division 2 because of an administrative error. Such things should be avoided, and people need to look beyond rules sometimes when it comes to school cricket. Now, we also thought we'll focus on cricket other than the cricket that we all know, the traditional cricket. We're going to talk about the indoor cricket, where Sri Lanka played in the Asia Cup, which also included New Zealand. Now, the good news is Sri Lanka were the runner-up. Now, they lost to New Zealand in the final. The tournament happened in Singapore. And Sri Lanka became the runner-up, as I said, and they beat a very strong Indian outfit. They beat UAE, they beat Singapore, they beat Malaysia, and lost only to New Zealand. So, well done to the Sri Lanka Indo cricket team. At least there's something that we can be happy about when it comes to cricket and Sri Lanka cricket. Okay, we are almost at the end of our program. That's because we don't have an expert to talk to, so it's just me talking, and I can get through quite quickly. And I'm going to ask you a question this week. What is Sri Lanka's highest total in a World Cup match? Now, last week's question, who scored Sri Lanka's first century in a World Cup? Answer, Aravinda de Silva. 145 versus Kenya at the Askiria Stadium in 1996. Don't forget, Aravinda got another 100. He got that in the all-important World Cup final when Sri Lanka beat Australia by 7 wickets. Shafraz Aziz is the winner of the last week's question. So that's a story on Around the Wickets. We hope you enjoyed it. And before I go, let me wish you a very happy Sinhala and Hindu New Year as it dawns. Enjoy, be blessed, and we see you soon.